Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Sacha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parayana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Rādhā Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sacha Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnanandjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Guru Bhishta Shapurakam Guru Ganeraṣīṣa Sambhushitam Chinta Chinta Samastaveda Nipunam Shri Rupa Panthanugam Govinda Bhidam Ujjalam Vartanam Bhakti-anvitam Sundaram Mande Vishwa Guruncha Divya Bhagavad Premno Hibij Bradam Devam Divyatanam Suchandravadanam Palarka Chelanchitam Sandrananda Puram Sadek Varnam Vairagya Vidyam Mudim Shri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lajitam Saraswatanam Varam Vandetam Shodam Madeka Sharanam Nasisaram Srīdharam Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Vidito Gauriya Guruvanvaye Bhato Bhanuriva Prabhat Gagane Gaura Sankirtane Mayavadati Mingalo Daragatan Udhritta Jivaniman Krishna Prema Sudabdigahan Sukam Pradata Prabham Tam Bhaje Namo Gaura Kishoraya Bhaktavadhuta Murtaye Gauranga Padma Bhrangaya Radha Bhava Shivane Bande Bhakti Vinodam Shri Gaura Shakti Sarupakam Bhakti Shastrajya Samrajam Radha Rasasudhanidhim Gaura Rajashita Sheshaira Vaishnavaira Vanda Vigraham Jagannatha Prabhum Vande Premabhyam Vriddha Vaishnavam Vancha Kalpataru Hescha Kripasindhuhaivacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Panchatattatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Sarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Namo Mahamadanaye Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaura Kishinama Jaitam Suratau Pango Namamandamatergati Matsarvasya Padam Bhojo Radha Madanamoharo Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpadrumadha Śrīmad Ratnagara Singhasanastau Shri Gandharva Shila Govinda Devo Prestalivi Sevyamano Smarami Shriman Rasa Rasaram Bhivam Shivata Tata Sthita Karshana Venu Shanera Gopira Gopinatha Shriyasuna Vrindaya Tulsi Devaya Priyaya Keshvasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Sattvatai Namo Namaha Athatta Mantra Guru Guru Bhagavatarthadan Vyasan Jagat Guru Natva Tato Jayam Mudire Jaya Saparikara Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharva Govinda Sundar Pad Padmanam Rastu Jaya Saparikara Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Pad Padmanam Rastu Śrī Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Śrī Advaita Gadadhara Śrīvāsādi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Sāṣṭāṅ Dandavat Pranam to all the devotees, Vaishnavas, servitors at Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math, serving at the lotus feet of Om Vishnupad, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswāmī Mahārāj worldwide, Param Guru Mahārāj, and also Srila Swami Mahārāj. Welcome to our Saturday Bhagavad Gītā discussion. We are live from Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Seva Ashram, Soquel, California. And we try to bring this to you every other Saturday. And we are trying to see if we can do it every Saturday. So with this, we will begin. And before we begin today's discussion, we will have some kirtan led by Lavanya Didi. So we will begin with that. Lavanya, recording is on? अपने ऊपर कर लेना।
Yeah. Dandavats, devotees. So in the auspicious month of Kartik that's still happening, we'll just sing some kirtans to be in remembrance of that. So we'll do, I think it's 254. Yes, 254. We'll do 254. Bhaj Śrī Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda.
Bhaj Śrī Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda.
Śrī Advaita Gadadhara Śrīvasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Śrī Advaita Gadadhara Śrīvasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Lasatkundalam Gokule Bhrajamanam.
Namamishwaram
Sachidanandarupam Lasatkundalam
Yashoda Vyalukhala Dhavamana. Yashoda Vyalukhala Dhavamana. Paramishram Bhaktan Satyavrat
Ganga Prema Bhakti Mavajya Me Prayat
Darayatha Vishwasadame
Namaste Sundame Suradipidame Parikayodayata Vishwasadame
Namaste Sudamne Suradipidame Sadiodarayatha Vishwasadame
Namaste Sundame Suradipidame Parikayodayata Vishwasadame
Namo Radhikaya Pradiyaya Priyaya
Dāmodarāṣṭakam
Namo Radhikaya Pradiyaya Priyaya Namo Radhikaya Pradiyaya Namo Nantalilaya Devaya Namamishwaram Satchidanandarupam Lasakundalam Gokule Bhajamanam
Namo Satyavrat Vasakundaram Gokule Brajamanam
Yashodaviyo Lukaladavamanam
Yashodaviyo Lukaladavamanam
Yashodaviyo Lukaladavamanam
Paramishamatyam Tato Dutya Gopya
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
224. Or two, okay, yeah, let's do this. Rādhā-kuṇḍataṭa-kuñja-kuṭīra. Rādhā-kuṇḍataṭa-kuñja-kuṭīra. Rādhā-kuṇḍataṭa-kuñja-kuṭīra.
Rādhā-kuṇḍataṭa-kuñja-kuṭīra.
Govardhana parvata jamuna tira. Rādhā-kuṇḍataṭa-kuñja-kuṭīra. Govardhana parvata jamuna tira. Rādhā-kuṇḍataṭa-kuñja-kuṭīra. Govardhana parvata jamuna tira.
Rādhā-kuṇḍataṭa-kuñja-kuṭīra. Govardhana parvata jamuna tira.
Kusuma sarovara manas ganga. Kalinda nandini vipula taranga.
Kusuma sarovara manas ganga. Kalinda nandini vipula taranga.
Vamsi vata gokula dhira samira. Vrindavana tarulatika vanira.
Shivata gokula dhira samira. Vrindavana tarulatika vanira.
Vamsi vata gokula dhira samira. Vrindavana tarulatika vanira.
Shivata gokula dhira samira. Vrindavana tarulatika vanira.
Rādhā-kuṇḍataṭa-kuñja-kuṭīra.
Rādhā-kuṇḍataṭa-kuñja-kuṭīra.
Govardhana parvata jamuna tira.
Govardhana parvata jamuna tira.
Rādhā-kuṇḍataṭa-kuñja-kuṭīra.
Rādhā-kuṇḍataṭa-kuñja-kuṭīra.
Khagamrigakula malaya vatasa.
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 Mayura bhramara murali vilasa.
Mayura-vara-murali-vilasa.
Venu shringapada chinna meghamala. Venu shringapada chinna meghamala. Vasanta shashanka shankha karatala. Vasanta shashanka shankha karatala. Yugal vilase anukula jani. Lila vilasayu deepakamani. Yugal vilase anukula jani. Lila vilasayu deepakamani. ऐसा बछोड़त कहाँ नहीं जाऊं.
कहाँ नहीं जाऊँ.
ऐसा बछोड़त कहाँ नहीं जाऊं.
Jai. Lavanya Sundari Devi ki Jai.
Jai.
Wonderful. Very nice. So, we are going to today begin chapter 2 of Śrīmad Bhagavad Gītā, Sāṅkhya-yoga. So Bhagavad Gītā, just as a quick recap, is a part of the great epic Mahārāj, and we find Śrīmad Bhagavad Gītā within Bhishma Parv of Mahārāj. Mahārāj is like 100,000 verses, and Śrīmad Bhagavad Gītā is within that. It's literally translated, it means the song of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. Bhagavad Gītā, song of God. But to be precise, it has been spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself, Śrī Kṛṣṇa, when He was actually present on this planet little over 5,000 years ago. So this is a conversation that happened on a battlefield between him and Arjuna, who was his intimate associate. And Śrī Arjuna was bewildered at that time as he faced off the armies of his own family members on the other side, and that perplexed him to his core, because he had, as part of the Leela, as part of the play, he had forgotten his eternal relationship with Krishna. Although he grew up around him and he saw him always, and Krishna was very dear to him, but he did not understand his position, ontology, and his relationship. So he had forgotten that, and he was a mighty Kshatriya, and in the first chapter, Sainya Darshan, when he is observing the armies, he got bewildered to the extent where he just gave up his will to fight. He says, I cannot fight. Although they had discussed on various occasions and milestones leading up to the battle that this might be a consequence, and it's a really bad consequence, but it may happen, and are we ready for it? And, but when actually that consequence became at least a relative reality, it was too much for Arjuna to proceed with business as usual. He just could not. And so we're in the middle of that. And hereafter, after the first chapter, what you will notice is that every chapter is a yoga. So we will have Sāṅkhya-yoga, then Karma Yoga, Karma Sannyas Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyan Yoga, and so forth. Purusha Prakriti, Vivek Yoga, all, and till the 18th chapter, they're all yoga. So we will begin with Sāṅkhya-yoga, the constitution of the soul, and this is extremely important because in the first chapter towards the end, in his intellectual rant, that he is expressing why he will not fight, why he cannot go along with this plan. He expresses the intellectual points that he mentions, that his dear ones, we cannot kill, which is family consciousness, dynasty consciousness, and then a little bit more, but it's all within the purview of his mind. And he's expressing that life and death. And patiently, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, he's listening. He's listening. And so now in this chapter, we will see how Lord Krishna, when he starts to instruct, how he starts to instruct, and about the constitution of the soul, because before this, it was all relative. Everything was mundane relativity. So now he will address the constitution of the soul. But in these initial verses, now we'll chant, and then we'll see how the Lord explains and takes Śrī Arjuna through this entire process of putting him back in his constitutional position. So we'll begin with, let's see. Sanjay watch first. So let's just chant the first one, because after the first one, the Lord begins. So we'll just chant the first one together, and then we'll read a translation. Okay, Sanjay Vacha Tam Tatha Kripaya Vishtam Ashnupurna Kulekshanam Vishidantam Idam Vakyam Uvacha Madhusudana. Lavanya, would you like to read the translation?
Sanjay said, the Supreme Lord, Madhusudan, then spoke to the saddened Arjun, whose heart was filled with pity, his eyes brimming with tears.
So now, Shri Bhagavan Vach. See, this is very important. When it says who is speaking. Like before this it says Sanjay Vach, and then here Shri Bhagavan Vach. And Bhagavan means the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Shri Bhagavan Vach. And it doesn't mean Ishwar, it doesn't mean Paramatma, it doesn't mean, and it means very distinct, the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself is speaking. And so to read it the way it is written is good, and to understand it as it is what we intend to. Shri Bhagavan Vach. So we will read verse 2 and 3 together, because they are both by the Supreme Lord. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Kutastava Kashmalam Idam Vishame Samupasthitam Anyarajustam Asavargayam Akirtikaram Arjuna Klebyam Asma Gama Partha Naitattai Upapadyate. Kshudram hridaya daurabalyam takto tishta parantapa. Ajit Prabhu, would you like to read the translation to number 2?
Okay.
Who wants to read?
The Supreme Lord said, O Arjuna, how has illusion overcome you at this crucial moment? This does not befit an Aryan, and then it leads not to heaven but to infamy.
Okay, and number 3.
O son of Kunti, give up this cowardice, for it does not befit you. O great hero, cast off this petty weakness of hurt heart and arise for battle.
So here he's simply, in verse 2 and 3, the Supreme Lord says, Arjuna, how has such illusion overcome you? He is expressing his surprise a little bit, like you are a noble. Aryan means the noble descent. Aryan doesn't mean anything else. There are so many misunderstandings of Aryan invasion theory and so many other things. But Aryan means of noble descent. So this is nobility. Arya. Arya Putra, and that's how the Varnashram was so, Daiva Varnashram was so well prevalent in the entire society that they were all part of nobility. So they were all addressing each other as, descendant of noble birth, someone whose values, whose morality is of the highest, and they can actually lead the society as an example. So those were the times when such people were actually there, and they were addressed by the Lord as such. So that's what the true understanding of Aryan is. Any questions or comments on that? Then he says, Kshudra hridaya daurabalyam, like cast off this petty weakness of heart and arise for battle. So all those arguments, those fancy things that were like put forth, the arguments were put forth by Arjuna in his defense of why it is not okay to go to battle and it's better to, have peace. It's been dismissed as petty and weakness of the heart. I mean, we've heard those arguments. If you try and extrapolate what Śrī Arjuna said, those are very decent and intellectual arguments that he put forward, and we've actually been through that intellectual menu ad nauseum. I mean, it makes us like sick to the stomach to hear it again and again, the same things. And that's as far as intellectual, the level of intellect, the intellectual capacity goes. It can't go beyond, because you cannot be out of your mind. Because if you're out of your mind, then you know what people call you. But this is beyond the mind. That's Lord Krishna when he explains the constitution of the soul and everything else. It is literally going beyond the mind. So he is dismissing the capacity of the mind and the intellect therein, within that sphere, as petty. In one shot, all of those things are dismissed. Then he encourages him, arise for battle. Do your duty. So now we will see what Śrī Arjuna has to say. So we can go till we can do number.
Do till 6.
Yeah, let's do till 6. Arjuna uvacha katham bhishmam aham Sāṅkhya dronam cha madhusūdana ishubhi pratiyotsyam putarharvarisūdana gurun hatva hi mahanubhavan shreyo bhoktum bhaksham apihaloke hatvartha kamanstu gurun haiva Bunjina bhogan dudhir pradigdhan na chaitad vidma kataranno giriyo yadva kyeyam yadiva no jayu yaneva hatvana jijivam shams tevasthita pramukhe dhartarashtra कारपण्य दोषोपहतः स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वाम धर्म सम्मूढ़ चेताः यच्छ्रेयस्यान् निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधिमां त्वाम प्रपन्नम्. Okay, we can start with
Number 4.
Yeah.
Arjuna said, O Madhusudan, slayer of the enemy, how can I counterattack shooting arrows at vulnerable Bhishma and my teacher Goran, who are worthy of my worship? It is better to live in this world and beg without taking the lives of our noble elders and teachers. Otherwise, by killing them, we shall remain in this world only to enjoy their wealth and possession tainted with their blood. I cannot understand which will be better, victory or defeat. For if we kill the sons of Dhritarashtra, who now stand before us on the battlefield, we shall not wish to live.
And then 7 as well, because you read 7.
Number
7 as well.
Now I am bewildered. What is my real duty? I am losing heart and distraught. So please tell me clearly what is the best course of action to take. I am your surrendered disciple. Please instruct me.
So this is very important. Before number 7 till number 6, they were all arguments. Number 7 is the admission. Do you notice?
Bewildered.
I can't make head or tail of this. Before this, it was all why not? So it's all resistance till now. By now, at this juncture, he says, now you instruct me. Don't think that we're friends and this and that. You are the teacher and I am a surrendered student unto you. Very important. He is telling us, showing us. He's an example of how to get instruction. Not by argument, because till now it's all been argument. And Krishna's been listening. But he's not instructing. Just once he has said, like, please, what's wrong with you? Get a hold of yourself. What are you doing? That doesn't sound like a noble person of noble descent. Anarajusham, why are you behaving like this? But he has not instructed till till this point. And when he was waiting for this, he was waiting for Arjuna to come to this point where he's like, I cannot make head or tail of it. Now he, by his intelligence, this is intelligence, not the mind now. So intelligence is above the mind, and then intelligence has figured out, I can come to, all these consequences of all different varieties of permutations and combinations I have come through, and none of it works. I cannot understand it. So this situation is beyond my mind. And whose mind at that time? Arjuna's mind is no ordinary mind. He had elemental control. He was so advanced in his consciousness, in the level of his consciousness. He was not like me or anyone here. He was way advanced, far, far advanced. And he is simply saying, it's beyond me now. I am totally bewildered. Shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. I am surrendered. Not just bewildered. He's been bewildered from the beginning. But now he has come to terms with it. He understands he's bewildered. And something is telling him, Krishna knows what's best for me at this point. And that's so wonderful. And he says, I surrender unto you. He still can't stop himself because he continues his little thing in number 8. So we can just quickly do number 8 because after that Sanjay watch. Or we can do verse 9 also.
Well, let's just do 8 and then we'll do 9.
Okay, let's do 8. So this is Arjuna continuing. Nahi prapashyami nahi prapashyami mamapnudyad yat chokam uchchoshanam indriyanam avapya bhumava asapatnam raddham rajyam suranam api chadhipatyam. You want to read?
If I can, I will say, I got it, I think. Even if I gain an unrivaled, flourishing kingdom, honor, and sovereignty over heaven, I see nothing to dispel my debilitating grief.
Joy. So he's just continuing to express his grief. Okay. So we can do 2 together, 9 and 10. Is that right, Lavanya?
Yeah, let's do 9 and 10.
Okay. Sanjay Vacha Evam Muktavar Shikesham Gudakesh Parantapa Na Yotsayasya Iti Govindam Uktava tu shanim babuvaha Tamuvacha Rishikesha Prahasan Niva Bharata Senayor Bhayor Madhye Vishidantam Midam Vacha.
Sanjaya said, those the valiant?
Yes?
Brilliant, yes.
The valiant, vigilant Arjuna spoke to Krishna, who is Rishikesh, the Lord of the senses of all beings. Then he declared, Govinda, I will not fight, and felt silent. O Bharata, there amidst the army, Sri Rishikesh, smiling, spoke thus to the grief-stricken Arjuna.
Joy. So here Sanjay, who is actually relaying this direct telecast live that he is receiving from the battlefield. Although he's with Dhritarashtra, and he is explaining everything to him, how he is seeing it directly. And so therefore Sanjay watch. And so Sanjay is saying now. And then he says now he sees Krishna, and then now Krishna starts to speak. So we'll do 11 and 12.
I'm going to give it a shot, John.
Okay. Śrī Bhagavan Uvacha Ashocana Anavashocastum Pragyavadamascha Bhashase Gatasu na gatasumapscha Nanusochanti Pandita Natvevaham Jatu Nasam Natvam me Janadipa Nachayvana Bhavishyamaha Sarve Vayam Mata Param. Okay. Lavanya?
The Lord said, O Arjuna, you are lamenting for that which is unworthy of grief, yet speaking words of wisdom. The wise lament neither for the living nor the dead. Never was there a time when you, I, or all these kings did not exist. Just as we exist in the present, so have we existed in the past, and shall continue to exist in the future.
Okay. You are lamenting Ashochan and Vashochastam, although speaking words of wisdom. You're speaking such wise words, but you're lamenting for that which is not worthy of grief. The wise lament neither for the living nor the dead. So he has taken real wisdom from the mundane relativity which we are living in and we think is all in all, to absolute relativity. First step he has here taken. Very first step to absolute relativity. Very important. Neither the living nor the dead. It's all about life, and this is matter of life and death. If we hear a statement like that, it's of utmost importance, isn't it? But he's saying that's petty, that's nothing. Because the wise, the ones who really know, the ones who are truly wise, who know what wisdom is, they lament, they care neither for the living nor the dead. So what's important to you right now is insignificant. You, from your vantage point, can only see and evaluate and measure relativity in the mundane sense. That's nothing. Come to the plane of absolute relativity. That is only after you surrender. So surrender leads one to the plane of absolute relativity. And see, when he says, Shadimam Tvam Prapannam, okay, now you have expressed your desire, your intent to surrender. Let me tell you that what you think is important till now, here on forth, it's dismissed as insignificant. So friends, relatives, my own, my life, my entire world, my dreams, aspirations, desires, even to see others happy at my expense, me dying for others, all of that is petty and dismissed. All wash. It's nothing. Insignificant.
Now, what is left?
Now, what plane will he talk about? Because that dismisses everything. So here, na tvevaham jatana samanatha neve janadipa na chaivana bhavishyam sarve vayam ata param. Never was there a time when you, I, or all these kings did not exist. This is a hint of eternality. That you think your existence is between life and death, let me break it. There was never a time when all of these, you, me, did not exist. Meaning what? You are not aware of it, but that doesn't mean that is not true, because that is the eternal truth. What you know is a relative truth, and your sense of what is true, what is good, what is right, what is moral, what you value is all relative. Just bound within the constraints of your mind. And it's all limited. And this view that he wants to and he will give as his grace to Arjuna is that of being limitless, of being eternal. The plane of absolute relativity. The plane that surrendered souls aspire for, and that is what their ideal is. The Sharanagat. So for Sharanagat, for persons who actually surrender, that's what they give up. They give up everything. It's not selective that I will only give up this, but I will keep gold because gold I like. I'll give up silver. Well, everything.
My wife.
Yeah, my wife I'll keep. But everything else you can take. No. Everything. Sarvasva. And then come to the plane of absolute relativity. Now we will expand on that as we go, but I just wanted to bring that to your attention, that is the plane. Should we go on, or Lavanya, is there time, or?
Yeah, I mean, go for it.
See, our view of past, present, and future, he is completely like beginning to shatter, because he says did not exist. Just as we exist in the present, we have existed in the past, and we shall continue to exist in the future. So that is real existence, or to understand that it's not like, okay, I was born at a certain time, I will exist for a certain period, and then I shall perish. No, that is mundane. That is the bodily conception. That is mundane reality, relative reality. Okay. Each of these is very well. We shall do just one by one from here on, because these.
Keep going.
Okay, we'll do one more.
What page are we on right now?
Now we're gonna do. We just did 12.
Okay.
So now let's do 13.
Hold on.
And then we'll pause after 13. So we'll continue. Okay. So
we can do 13 through 16, honestly.
Okay,
because that'll be the next.
Yeah, but we'll chant one by one because these are important. So
yeah.
We'll discuss these more. So let's do 13. Dehino asmanyatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara praptir dhirastatra namuhyati. Who's going to read?
As the living being passes through the bodily changes of childhood, youth, and old age, similarly attains to another body at death. The wise are not deluded by this.
So, philosophy, the entire edifice of philosophy, the central, most essential, fundamental question that it seeks to address and find solutions to or explain is death, pretty much. And it has been explained in one shloka. So it says, Dehino smanyatha dehe. Dehino smanyatha dehe. So dehi and deh. There's two principles here. The outer covering, deh, which means the body, and dehi is the occupier or the energy that animates, however you want to understand it.
Mama,
So
how much
he has
kitna
made
samay
this
aur chahiye?
distinction right here. Dehi no smanyatha dehe. Deh goes through the transformations of the deh, the body. The covering goes through the transformations of Kaumaram, Yauvanam, and Jara. So, childhood, youth, old age, infirmity, these transformations are actually, this is going on for the deh, for the body, not the occupier, not the dehi. And death is the final change. So these are all transformations, and then the final change is called death, where the dehi exits the deh, or is withdrawn from, or that period of time where it was leasing the deh, that lease is up. And the wise actually are not deluded by that. So, where he began, where he said, "Whereas the wise lament neither for the living nor the dead," here he's explaining a little bit more, expanding on it as that part. Why? Because they know this as only a change, a transformation. It's not like a dead end or the final, okay, death is, everything ends. No. So there are two ways to look at like this, life and death. You can look at it as like a cyclical motion versus like something which goes in a straight line or linear, and then it ends, and the cyclical just keeps going.
Seasons of the soul. Birth, old age, sickness, and death.
Yeah, that's nice. Similarly, time, past, present, future seems linear, but it's cyclical. The yugas and everything is just like that. So, the mundane vision, our relative reality that we have constructed around us in different ways, how we understand it, is all being set right as we go through this. As he's explaining the absolute area, beginning to explain. This is beyond the mind. So the wise, who are the wise? Let's first understand this. You think you're speaking wise words, pragyavadamascha bhashase. And he says, oh wow, you're such an intellectual. This consciousness, that consciousness. It's all dismissed. Because the wise really do not lament either for the living or the dead. They don't consider any of this. What you're considering as life and death, for them it's insignificant. It's nothing. This is the plane that they're actually awake to, where they see everything ad infinitum. The view of the infinite plane, the absolute plane. And it is like that. It is that wondrous. And then those are the wise. So to understand wisdom at various levels and then at the absolute level is very important, because without that, you'll not be able to make any head or tail of what he's saying. Constitution of the soul. So, dehino asminnatha dehe kaumaram yavanam jara. Very important verses. So, let's do 13.
We just did 13?
Oh, we did?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, now let's do 14.
Yeah.
Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkada agama paino nityas tam satitikshasa bharata.
O son of Kunti, the engagement of the senses with their objects produces the sensation of cold, heat, pleasure, and pain. But these effects are temporary, they come and go. Therefore, O Bharata, you must endure them.
Matra sparshastu kaunteya. So, just going by the senses with their objects produce the sensations of cold, heat, pleasure, and pain. Cold, heat, pleasure, and pain is nothing but duality. Hot, cold, pleasure, pain, winter, summer. I like this, I don't like it. All duality. What's good for me, what's bad for me. Another important thing here is matra sparshasta kaunteya. Matra, where the first word matra here, Guru Mahārāj has explained it in I remember in one instance where matra also means measurement. So by us being conditioned into this like mundane relativity, we always measure. So here it is like you're used to measuring. You're used to always, have your little scale of how hot, how cold, how good or how bad, or all of that is like all relative. So you're not going to be able to, by that, you're not going to be able to comprehend.
This is mental?
Matra sparsha, actually this is sensual.
Sensual mental.
The senses, how that input is going into the mental plane. So by that, so the objects come into contact with the senses, and when that happens, that resultant input goes into the processing unit, and then it processes and analyzes and goes, oh, let me measure. And then go, I like it, I don't like it. I accept it, I reject it. And so forth. So, matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkada. So in a deeper way, we make our own heaven and hell.
No kidding.
Huh? We make our own heaven and hell. We make our own heaven and hell. Our own construct. And we live in it. And we have no idea of reality.
For us, our relative positions and our relative understandings are all in all. And if others don't conform to it, if persons not conforming to those, they're bad. Just simply, we don't want them. And that's what we live by, pretty much. It's a sad state of affairs, but that's how the world is.
In confinement, you only know yourself. You have to have this, but get out of it. So what can you do?
Start with knowing thyself. Know thyself. It's so important. Matra sparshasta konte, shitoshna shukka dukkada. That what you're thinking is all in all, it's only happening by senses coming into contact with the objects of the senses, and you're thinking, that is pleasure, that is desirable, that is undesirable. It's nothing. But one has to actually pull back and really understand what is being said, because this is all scientific. It's not simply just fancy language, and no, this is all verifiable. Matra sparshasta konte. Meditation is what? To understand all these various levels. Okay, the level of the senses. What is being sensual? What does it mean? Like I'm pulled by my senses here and there all the time. Is this? The objects, when they come in contact with the senses, the brain loves it and it wants to go in that direction. It doesn't consider anything else important. That's what I want. That's how we work. Mechanical, but that's how we work. So, he says, whether you desire pleasure, desire summer, desire winter, it comes of its own accord. You think that by your desire it'll come? No.
Don't tell me that.
And then he goes, and because all of this, why it is happening, it's coming and going of its own accord. You need to be patient.
And demote.
Wait and see.
Exactly. You need to be patient.
And see, right.
Yes. You need to be patient. Patient, or titikshas also means tolerant. So you need to cultivate some tolerance. Because simply by desiring and simply desires not being fulfilled and all of these other things happening, titikshas bharat. You must know I'm just at best a cog in the wheel, at best. The environment is not answerable to me. Quite the opposite, but in a much more dignified way. It's not about obedience. Krishna never says, obey me. These are the commandments. No commandments. This is all knowledge, empowerment, and proper respect for your mind and everyone's free will. What you do, you think best. You remember I said each of these chapters is a yoga. And even if someone considers them a yogi and if they have read Bhagavad Gītā, they'll choose one yoga. Isn't it? We like choice. So he says, I'll give you choice. Here. You want choices? I'll give you choices. By your taste, by how you're moved, Let's see. Let me see where you go. That's his play. He doesn't give commandment that you shall do this. No. Thou shalt not. No. He says, Yatechasi tatha kuru. Even to Arjuna, he gives all of the advice and everything that he wants to. And then he says, Yatechasi tatha kuru. Do.
You decide.
Exactly. I have expressed myself. I have given you my opinion. Now I want you to decide, and by your decision, then, that'll like tell me which way you're moved, whether you understand it, how much you understand it, what's your taste, what's your level of understanding, all of it. Because not everyone will understand it the same way. We're not supposed to. That's the beauty. See, that's the principle of diversity. We understand diversity in a different way. In a mundane, a relative way. Absolute level, that is diversity. How are you moved? What will you do? That is really what Krishna is looking for. He's not looking for like, everyone should do this thing. So, then no play, no vilas. What movement?
We're not robots.
He doesn't want anyone to be robotic. That's why free will is so important. As a unit of consciousness, without free will, we wouldn't be conscious. And so he wants us to see how we're moved, which way we go. So we determine our own destiny in a way. We're in charge. Talk about empowerment.
Someday we will wrap up our free will and give it to Krishna.
Jai. That is then full-fledged theism.
Yes.
Then one can understand very nicely full-fledged theism. What it is really to be full-fledged theistic. Not just theistic in a general sense, but full-fledged theism. Very nice. You want to do one more?
Yeah, we can do one more.
Okay, so let's do number 15. Na hi yam hina vyatyante te purusham purusharshava sama dukkha sukham dhiram somritataya kalpate. Who's reading?
Yes.
If you want, number 15.
15.
20. Page 26.
36.
No, 20. 25. 25 aquí. El número 15.
All right, good. Here we go. Old eyeballs.
I'm getting there. O noblest of men.
Oh, no, also.
O noblest of men. That's okay, Prabhu. I'll read it.
Pass it on, pass it on.
Go ahead. You want to read it, baby? No, you read it.
You read it.
Oh.
Can you please read it?
O nobles of men, the wise man who is equiposed in pleasure and pain and undisturbed by sense experiences is alone qualified for immortality.
So the duality, he's saying for those who start to make progress into that plane of absolute, then samadukkha sukham, it becomes, they can no longer differentiate between sukh and dukh, which means pleasure, pain, hot, cold, good, bad, in a way, in the way of the relative sense. That doesn't mean that they'll start doing evil things, but in the relative sense, that duality, they rise above. They rise into the plane of the absolute. And he says, the wise man who's equipoised in pleasure and pain, undisturbed by sense experiences. So undisturbed by sense experiences, one who understands what the senses are, one who has truly seen and meditated and understood that this is how the senses work, and so by that, because of that knowledge and because of that realization of that Vijñāna, knowing the science, not haphazard, but scientifically knowing it and verifying it, then they proceed on to higher levels of meditation toward the absolute. As they tread along, they alone are qualified for immortality. So, about the wisdom, about the wise, and then how the wise proceed toward immortality. So like this, he is developing in an analytical way. Sāṅkhya means also analysis, more discussion, like that. So analytically, he's describing the constitution of the soul as he begins all of this. So with that, unless anyone has any comments or any questions, then we'll pause here.
Bring my glasses next week.
Well, we will all benefit.
We'll see.
Right. So we pause at number 15, chapter 2, and we shall begin with number 16 in our next session. So, Jai Om Vishnupad Śrīla Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswāmī Mahārāj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Śrīla Bhakti Rakshak Srīdhar Dev Goswāmī Mahārāj Ki Jai. Jai Vishwarena Śrīla A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Śrī Chaitanya Saraswat Math Acharya Vrinda Ki Jai, Seva Vrinda Ki Jai, Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, all the assembled devotees Ki Jai, all the visible, invisible, and other devotees and vaishnavas Ki Jai, Kartik Vrat Ki Jai, Urja Vrat Ki Jai, Ekadasi Tithi Ki Jai, Sri Haridas Ṭhākur Ki Jai, Nittai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Jai. Jai Saparikar Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Ki Jai.
Jai.